Okay, two pair of the same boots. I told myself I would stop buying two of one thing, but I was bored. It was a good deal. I have made in-depth video of each pair. Please go watch those. This video won't be too in-depth. We're mainly going to talk about the differences between the old pair versus the current or the latest pair, horse versus kangaroo. Some small stuff in between that I thought of to make this video long enough to make me feel as though I am superior to people that make 30 seconds TikTok. A fairly open conversation, not too scripted. Oh, and before we continue, this white pair, I will use these names to refer to them, and I will use these names to refer to the black pair. I got both of these pairs used, so my opinion here is a bit different if you were to buy from retail. The white was more used than the black. With that being said though, kangaroo is much easier to break into because the leather is much thinner and more malleable, whereas the horse on the black pair, it's more rigid, tougher, thicker. So it took me a lot longer to break these in, even though both pair are used. The hardest part to break in was honestly the toe box because it's incredibly hard. Let's put it this way. If you're asking me to go for a long walk within the first 2-3 months of the purchase of these boots, I would choose the kangaroo because it's a lot more comfortable. The gap of the user on the kangaroo is much smaller, so it's slightly more comfortable. The arch isn't as high and there's a bit more bounce since it's more broken into. So 1 point to the kangaroo. They're exactly the same thing, nothing changed here. However, due to the leather, one is easier to zip up and down than the other. The horse, it's much thicker, so it's much easier to zip these up. The kangaroo, it's much thinner, more flimsy, so it's a bit harder to zip it up. You have to gather the boots into the right position, otherwise the zipper will not slide as smoothly. 1 point to the horse. I talked about the toe box briefly already in the breaking in phase, so let's talk some more because it deserves its own category. With the white pair, it has some dirt mark on there, very unique. Other brand would have buffed it out, but avant-garde or artisanal brands, they will leave the leather looking as original as can be, which I'm a fan of. With regard to the titanium bits, I'm leaning towards the black pair. The titanium breaking through the leather is a bit more vicious. Feels like it's trying to claw itself out. On the white pair, it feels like it was forgotten and they kind of glued it on after, just the way it looks. Also, the titanium have scratches which add to the effect of the bones breaking out. Of course, this is very subjective. Both are great, but I'm trying to really separate these two things, so the black pair wins. With regard to comfort, when you wear your boots for longer than 3 to 4 hours, walking up and down the stair, up and down the hill, your toe will inevitably touch the toe box more and more. The kangaroo is much softer, so it doesn't hurt as much. It feels as though the leather is ready to go left when you want it to and go right when you want it to go right. Whereas on the horse, it's much thicker, more rigid. Think of it as lifting a 10 pounds weight. Yeah, it's fine the first 20 to 50 reps or first 100 reps, but the more you do it, the harder it becomes, even though the weight has not changed. I will give them both 1 point each because I like the comfort of the white, but everything else I said about the black, I like that better than the white. With regard to the shaft, again, we have to talk about the leather first. I prefer the kangaroo here because it's much more malleable. It doesn't hurt when I lean or bend down because the leather is thinner. I get more breathing room, which is always a plus. My feet, they get very stinky at the end of the day, so this helped greatly. With the black pair, horse is much thicker, more rigid, less movement. Some of my friends have trouble zipping these up all the way because their calves are too big. I can do it on both pairs because my calves aren't that big. When not worn, the kangaroo hold no structure, which I'm not a fan of. The horse, they stand up tall and strong, which I love. Both of them have this shitty bit where it itches my leg. I dislike it very much. You get both the zipper lock, etc., tornado to zipper, blah, 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 blah. The black pair, of course, a bit harder to bend down because of the thickness, a bit harder to get fresh air in there. I have to alleviate some of this throughout the day by lowering the zipper or my feet are gonna get crazy stinky. One pro of the horse though, stacking, which we will talk more in its own segment, but there is stacking on the shaft, so we have to consider this as well when we're considering giving a point to one or the other. I'm leaning towards the black pair because, there's more pros to it. Both are great, but I'm really nitpicking it, so 1 point to the horse for me. Okay, so the white pair, older version, the black pair, the current or latest version, you can see that it's a bit more pronounced when it comes to the protrusion of the back half and the spaces between the holes. The old pair is stacked leather blend with steel. The new pair is stacked leather blend with carbon fiber. You can see the carbon fiber being used on mostly car parts because it's strong yet lightweight. You don't see the separation of the stacked leather too much on the newer model. On the old pair, the lines are more prominent. The old pair feel very much like stacked leather, whereas the new pair, there's a presence of metal to it, but it's soft. Like you really, when you know that it's carbon fiber, your brain makes you think, oh, okay, There's a lot of carbon fiber here, you know, carbon fiber. So you don't think of it as stack leather as much, and it doesn't look like stack leather as much. With regards to comfort, I prefer the old pair. Maybe it's the fact that the previous owner put a door stop in between to make it a bit more comfortable and to not lose the U-sole shape. Maybe it's the stack leather and steel blend. Whatever it may be, I can walk with these a lot longer without pain in the black. The black pair, the hole is much larger as stated earlier. This means that the arch is higher, which can put a lot of pressure on this part of the feet. Ask your female friends about wearing a Louboutin 55 or 65 millimeter, and they will tell you about the pain in this area. No door stopper means there's a bit of an air technology. You might think it's a good thing, but it's not. Think biking, but you're constantly changing gear from soft to hard. You're so conscious about the hole, you're so conscious about the fact that these could break, so you don't walk with the same intensity, or at the very least you're aware that these could break, so you walk a bit differently. I constantly have to remind myself that these have carbon fiber. I should walk normally, it will be fine, but each time the leather contract and constrict as you walk, I just get a bit more nervous. Think of it as wearing sandals with no back. You're conscious about the fact that your feet could slip out of the back, so you push your feet a lot more forward to compensate. I am definitely over explaining it, so let's end it with this. I like the newer one more for the new technology, for the look and for the feel. However, the comfort goes to the old pair because the hole is smaller, so it doesn't contract nor constrict too much or too often. I should stop trying to compare these boots to running sneakers or Crocs, so with that being said, I will give a point to the black pair for all of the points that I brought up earlier. With the old pair, the outsole looks like this. I'm not a fan. The previous owner wasn't either, so he decided to add these thin Vibram outsole. It kind of helped a little bit with longevity, with the looks. The new pair looks like this. You get a bit of Vibram outsole mixed with the carbon fiber blend with the stack leather. The new one wins. I feel more secure. I like the look. I believe it will last a lot longer. One flaw though. The Vibram protrude a bit further out, so there's a bit of wobbliness when you're walking. If you're not careful, you're gonna twist your ankle. But then again, everything about the new pair, it's so much better. They improved upon it so much. So the horse leather is known for the stacking of the leather or the fold of the leather, whichever turns you on more. The Kangaroo, you get a bit of it, but not as prominent as the horse. Easy win for the horse leather. It just looks so good. It adds so much personality to the boots. You know, fuck it. 2 points for the black pair. It is that good. That's how much I love horse leather and the stacking effect. The white pair wins. The Kangaroo leather is softer and more malleable. Again, if you want to move left, it will move left. If you want to move right, it will move right. With the horse leather, if you want to move right, good luck. The Kangaroo is lighter, so less effort to move your feet. The longer you wear it, the more you sense the weight differences. Let's do a story and it will tell you everything, hopefully succinctly. So, my partner and I went to New York in July. It was 85 to 95 degrees. We left the hotel around 10 or 11 a.m. and got back around 9 to 10 p.m. So roughly 10 hours or something of walking. It's hot, horse leather is thick, the U-sole is high. When we got to Central Park at 5 to 6 p.m., I had to take my shoes off because I need some fresh air. I need to let my feet be free of this heavy ass boot. When I got to the hotel at 10 p.m., I felt a bit of afterwear pain, which might contradict my previous video, but I got more data now, so it's okay to change your mind as more data comes in. But not like for a long time. It's like 20-30 minutes and then my feet was normal again. With the white pair, I went to the Germany embassy. I left my house at around 7 a.m. and I got home around 4 to 5 p.m. Didn't wear it for as long as the black. However, I didn't feel any pain at the very end of the day. I didn't feel any afterwear pain. I think this is due to the fact that the leather is softer, more breathable, the arch is lower, and the U-sole is a bit more comfortable. For that reason, the Kangaroo gets a point here. With regard to leather, you know, horse leather, thicker, more rigid, bigger, stronger, harder, blah, blah, blah. I talk about it throughout this video already. The Kangaroo, softer, thinner, yet stronger, more malleable. Okay, so if we're going on looks alone, I will take the horse. If we go on the best leather for footwear, I will take the Kangaroo. If we combine both categories, I will have to take the Kangaroo because of how much more comfortable it is than the horse, because it also has unique looking grain and it's stronger yet lighter. Now, if we're talking about, say, a leather jacket, then yes, you know, the weight differences wouldn't be too much. I would love horse over Kangaroo because it's thicker and the stacking of the leather will look better. But for footwear, you know, the lighter it is, the better. We have to be more objective. We can't just say we love horse for how it looks and then apply that to the comfort as well. So Kangaroo gets a point here. I want to talk about this little detail at the back of the Yuso. When I say heels, on the new pair, much more pronounced, extend furthermore. On the older pair, it's a bit more tame. Same amount of nails, of course, the material is completely different. If we're talking aesthetic, the newer pair is more in your face, stands out a bit more. They don't really do too much with regard to comfort. Well, maybe. Okay, so no, okay. It does nothing to the comfort, but with regard to longevity, okay, I will give the newer one because it's much more pronounced. Think foundation of a bridge. The bigger and longer they are, the longer the bridge will last. Aesthetically, I prefer the newer model because I'm growing to love the standoutness of said larger heel bit, so 1 point for the horse leather. With regard to integration to my wardrobe, the black one is better. Black is simply easier, the shape is more or less the same. My wardrobe is mainly black, has a bit of color, but mainly black. I do love the look of all black outfit with a bit of white footwear. I think it's neat, I think it's a bit chic. However, I do have to think about my outfit a bit more when I want to wear the white pair. With the black pair, I put it on and go. It goes with everything, so we will give the black one a point here. They're both roughly 2K to 2.4, 2.5. The newer model go for a bit more on the aftermarket because the newer carbon fiber blend. The Yuso doesn't lose its shape, and when you buy them used, you don't want to see a small hole. You want the carbon fiber pair because it will keep the hole bigger for much longer. When we buy these high-end products, we want the value to hold somewhat, so we need them. So when we need the money or when we don't want to wear them anymore, we can sell them and get most of our money back or all of our money back. The black pair holds its value a bit better, so we will give a point to the black pair. Both of these are the same pair of boots, so we're going to use the Yuso to try to separate them. The carbon fiber blend, the larger Yuso, the more extended heel. I think that's more original than the old pair, so we will give a point to the black pair. Pretty simple, right? Shouldn't be too controversial. With regard to availability, the older, smaller Yuso are harder to come by now. I can see how some people prefer the older model because it doesn't look as strong. They want it, they want it to be blending in instead of standing out. And then, of course, the older model, it's harder to find because CCP only now makes the current model, which have the bigger and larger holes. So 1 point for the black because it's easier to acquire. Same packaging, no point added or deducted. However, I would like to show you the first person point of view unboxing, which I forgot to do in the initial unboxing that I did, so skip it if you liked. With regard to season, 3 for each pair. Horse is a bit too thick for summer, Kangaroo is a bit too thin for winter. Both are good at the other 3. 1 point each here. The main culprit for when you need to take these to the cobbler are the zippers and the Yuso. The black pair wins. The zipper is a bit better and more smooth since the leather is so much thicker. The leather on the Kangaroo is much thinner, so the zipper is getting more stuck already. We spoke a lot about the Yuso already. Carbon fiber is better than the other metal, than the steel. So once again, it costs roughly $245 to replace the Yuso with standard stack leather sole. So it costs less to fix the black. We will give 1 point to the black pair. I did an extensive water test for both of these. So the horse leather, water doesn't stay on the leather as long, 2 or 3 minutes, or really during. Once you clean the visual aspect of the water beyond the leather, when you go to touch it, a bit cool, but after 2-3 minutes, you can't tell that this boot has recently touched water. This is going to be so great for winter when it's snowing or snow on the ground and whatnot. With the Kangaroo, the color changes could be due to the color. The leather takes in water a bit more. This is because of the density of both of these leather, as you can see by the image on the screen. And then the leather also gets softer when it touches water, which I'm not a fan of. With the horse leather, it did not. It stayed hard. The leather roughly takes about 4 to 5 hours until you see and feel that it's been dried. However, the leather becomes more like money that has gone through the washing and drying machines. Yes, still leather, but yes, it's still money, but it has gone through water. You can feel it, you can see it. So horse leather wins here with regard to how great it is to water. The scores are on the screen. Do with that with what you will. The goal of this video is to simply milk out as much content as I can out of these expensive ass boots. And more comparison will come out periodically because I don't have to buy new products, shoot more b-roll. It's an easy video for me to do, an easy video for you to enjoy. Most of you are watching this because you don't own the boots, so you want to simply see more b-roll, hear somebody else talk more about the boots that you want, that you dream of owning. Or you own the boots and you want to see other people talk about the product that you have. I know that because I get the same feeling. I will sometimes look at other people talk about the Rico and Kiss boots or the Rico and Close jacket just to see what other people think about the beautiful product that him and I share, or her and I share. Anyway, my name is Makasy. Thank you for wasting your time with me. Goodbye, sluts.